Darren?
Yes.
Hey, Darren. With BRS Homebuyers, you were texting you earlier. You said to give you a call at noon.
Go back a couple seconds, Samir. Cut out, bro.
About your property on Pacific Drive.
Yeah.
What'd you say? It cut out?
Yeah, it cut out for a second. Just go back to the beginning. We'll restart the time on that.
Okay, I got you. Boom.
We took this live.
Honestly, it starts like 20 seconds in, so we could probably just let it run.
Yeah,
to the
just
end.
let it run. Just do it like that, then we can give Imran an extra couple seconds. I'm putting this on YouTube. If
Okay,
nobody
let me know if
wants
you guys
to
can
go
hear
on YouTube,
it.
Sorry, you are now. Just fair warning.
Darren?
Yes.
Hey, Darren.
Did it cut out again?
Yeah, it's just that beginning. Maybe it's just that part. Just let it run. Let's see what happens.
Let me try back one time. It's like freaking out on my end too.
It's
Hold
good.
on.
I think you're good there.
We're gonna try one more time from the 12-second mark. Hopefully it'll be good.
Darren?
Yes.
Hey, Darren. Tom with BRS Homebuyers.
This is who?
Tom with BRS Homebuyers. You were texting you earlier. You said to give you a call at noon. Follow up?
Yeah.
About your property on Pacific Drive.
Yeah.
Just checking in to see if you were interested in selling that property now.
Yeah. I mean, what would I get for? What y'all offering for?
I don't know yet. I'd like to find out a little bit about the condition of the property and a little bit about it. I mean, you have a price you're interested in getting? I mean, usually we like to try to come up to what your price is if it works out to what you and I can agree on.
Yeah. Well, it's a studio condo. It's a tenant in there now.
Okay.
I may need a little work here and there, but it's got a new hot water tank in it, a new heating system in it. I had a leak, but that was taken care of, and I'm getting it put back together now.
And that's you talking about a roof leak?
No. It was a ceiling. I had a leak in the ceiling.
Okay. You said you have a renter in it now?
Yes, a renter in it now.
What are you getting monthly on
well,
that?
He's paying about $500 a month.
Okay.
Which, if I was going to keep it, I was going to go ahead on it. I was going up on the rent on it.
Oh, okay. Is this tenant on a month-to-month lease or a year?
Well, he's not on a lease now.
Oh, okay.
But he just paid about a month.
Oh, okay. I mean, so what kind of time frame are you looking at if you were to want to sell it? If we can come up to a price.
Well, if I can get the price right on it, I'll sell it this week, next week, first of this month. Whenever.
All right. Why wouldn't you want to just go ahead and keep it? Just want to get out of it?
Because why I wouldn't want to keep it?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm in North Carolina, and it takes a little something for me to have to get down there, because the job I have here in North Carolina doesn't allow me to the freedom of being able to move around and go back and forth like I used to.
Oh, I understand. All right. Now, is there? I mean, I know you've kind of thought about it. Is there some kind of price you're looking for?
Well, I was looking in the price range of around 40, 42, something like that.
42.
Yeah.
That's $42K, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a HOA on that location?
Yeah. It's
it's
about $60 a month, something like that.
Okay. Now, that your rental that your tenant's paying now, does that include utilities, or is that they pay their own utilities?
He takes care of the utilities.
Okay. He has all the electric, water, and all that stuff.
Yeah, the electrical and the water and all that. He handles all of that.
Okay. And you said the condition of the property. I mean, what kind what kind of things, if he was to move out, you think I would have to do before I could rent it?
Well, let me stop here for a second. Now, what are you saying now?
I said if the tenant was to move out, if we and then I would need to get a new tenant, what do you think I would need to do to it?
Well, you might repaint it and you might put like some tile down in the bathroom.
Mhm.
It's a little minor stuff that you could do to it. Maybe in the utility closet, put a piece of carpet in there or a piece of tile in there.
Okay.
There's not much really need to be done to it.
Okay. You say it's a studio, correct? Not a one-bedroom studio.
No, not one bed. It's a studio. It's like a big room, but you got like a walk-in kitchen and a walk-in bathroom.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, we typically buy properties in two ways, usually cash price, which sounds like what you prefer on this deal, or we sometimes we'll do seller finance if it doesn't have a mortgage on it. You don't have a mortgage on this deal?
No.
Okay. I didn't figure so. Sometimes we'll do seller finance. Sometimes we can give a little bit more or come up to the owner's price. If it's real tight, sometimes we can come up a little bit higher. If it's a seller finance where we don't have to go out and bring our money in, we can just pay you, make you the bank at that point, versus going out and getting a mortgage or using our capital. I mean, would that be something that would interest you?
Well, I don't really know much about the seller, that part of it. I was just cash and carry. That's basically that's what I would have liked to have done.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, as far as about that, the seller finance, it basically just makes you the bank. You still get a monthly payment, just like you are now, except you don't have to worry about nothing.
Oh.
And we come up with terms that you want, and some money down if you want, but that's something that if we can't come up with that total cash price, if that doesn't seem to work, we can come up to the higher price on that usually. So I'll do a little bit more digging on this. I don't know too much about the condos over there, so I have to do a little bit more digging on that one, and see what kind of price we're looking at, and then I can get back to you in a day or so. That sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. All right. Well, you have a good day now.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye.
All right, that's Thomas's call.
Boom. All right, guys. One in the books. I have some definite thoughts and feedback on that. Great job, Tom. Excited to hear what happens next. So what's going to happen, guys? Again, just a quick reminder. Make sure you guys remember what you liked. Remember what you didn't like about both of those calls. I'm going to be creating a poll in the background. As soon as we finish with Imran's call, the poll is going to go live. You guys are going to vote. And then we're going to see what happens. Let me know whenever you're ready, Samir.
Daniel, I'm gonna play that. You're gonna let me.
Oh, you're gonna play that. I apologize.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, there you go, man.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see it. There's a way. So let's do this. Go back to close out the share. Stop sharing. Oh wait, hold on. Is it playing? Is it playing the audio? Go ahead and test it.
Yeah, I was playing. Yeah.
Hello, Barbara. Hi. How are you?
Good. Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. All right. By the way, I do not do sales. I don't have sales background, so just yeah. So bear that in mind. But anyway, so I tried. Let's see.
Yeah, my name is Imran, and I work with people who are having issues with the bank. Try to give them some information that can help them. And I saw your house came on a list of foreclosure.
Yeah, whole other issue.
Yeah, I know. It is, sometimes that bad thing happens, and people get confused on what to do. So I'm here to give you some information that may help you to keep the house.
And that would be what different information?
Sure.
I have been.
Go ahead.
This has been an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Can you catch me up to speed? Like,
It's just trying to get modifications and back and forth. And I thought I had one, I didn't, and now all of a sudden I actually just found out today that this is officially on for the. So yeah, it's actually.
So the bank has not given you the workout. The loan is a specialized loan servicing, right? SLS.
Yeah.
Okay.
A whole other area.
Yeah, I know dealing with servicers can be a problem because I have gone through myself, and that time the lender was offering lender service and no longer exists. But I had to give them all my documents, and they would lose them. They would.
And it was every.
Right.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. So that's a very common issue with the servicing company. Now, when you got the documents, so the first thing is like you want to keep this home, though, right?
Yeah, I want to keep it for a long time. It's very hard to explain to somebody. This has been going on for a couple of years, trying to get a modification, and then not accepting, and then telling me I have what is payment. It's just awful. It's gotten it's going. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I know that is very difficult. Very.
Everything is pure. All the all the I did it over here.
Oh my God! Yeah, the late fee and the attorney fees, the legal cost, it gets added up. So when you get the documents, there should be, what is it? Your understanding that you can pay some money to reinstate the loan? Do you know that you have that option?
I don't.
Okay, so you can stop the sale as long as you can bring the loan current. You do not have to pay the whole amount of the loan. That's what I used to think, and I got, nervous. But the fact is, there are two numbers. One is the payoff amount, which is the total loan balance, and another one is called reinstatement, which is, so say you missed the payment for a year, that's the year worth of payment and the legal fees and late fee. And if you pay that, then they have to stop the sale. Okay.
What is your name?
My name is Imran. IMRAN.
Okay. I'm a little quiet, so I'm working.
Okay. Yeah, so that's an option. Do you know how much it will take to reinstate the loan? Is it a huge amount? Okay. Yeah, so you have my number, and when you go home, you can look. Yeah, once you have the documents, you can give me a call, and then maybe I can give you some information. Like I just talked to another homeowner like 15 minutes ago, and she did not know that it went through foreclosure already. I was trying to give her some information.
She didn't know it went through?
No, she's not able to get that information from the foreclosing company. And I'm like, no, they have to give that to you. So I did search online, and then I found out, and she did not know that it went through foreclosure. She knew it was for auction, and she was trying to do the workout.
She didn't miss the sale date.
She missed the sale date, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So, yeah. So in Maryland, when this happened to me in Arizona, I was in Arizona. Once the sale is done, it's done. I cannot get it back. But in Maryland, it's different. Maryland is one of the fewer states where in Maryland, they have something called redemption period. So after the sale, say the auction is on January 5th. If somebody buys it at auction, then it has to go through the court. The judge has to approve that sale, and it takes about 30 to 45 days. So within that time period, you can buy the house back. Only you can buy the house back. Nobody else can do. So whoever bought it, you can buy it back. Basically, you have to give them their money, and you get the money back. But you are ahead of the situation. You are not there yet, so you still have 2 more weeks. Over 2 weeks, so you still have 10, 15 days. Yeah, so you have time, but it's limited time. But there are ways you can stop it. So the one is the reinstatement, and you have to find out how much, and then do not send the payment to the lender, not to the SLS. Send the money to the lawyer who is doing the foreclosure. Okay, so let me see who is doing the foreclosure here. I think it's the BWW, right? Yeah. So, and then the company who is holding the sale is called Alex Cooper. Yeah. So you can make the payment. You contact Alex Cooper if you want to reinstate. Send the payment to.
What do you do?
Well, if you don't have that money, okay. So another option is this? Do you know if it is an FHA loan? If it is, you can look that up. If it is an FHA loan, there is a option with FHA. Let me see what's the term called. I just have it. There is a term that you call them and tell them that. It's called partial claim. You can write it down. Partial claim. Mm-hmm.
What is that? So claim it.
Yeah, partial claim. So you call SLS and say, and if you know if it is FHA loan, and if you do not know, you can ask SLS. You ask them, who is my lender? SLS is a servicing company, not the lender. Okay. Yeah. So you have to ask them, who is the investor or who is the lender? And if it is an FHA loan, then you say you want to claim something called partial claim. What it does is they will give you a loan, because if it is FHA loan, they have this program, whatever on the reinstatement amount, they will create a loan against your house for that. They will
All right,
pay
I think
you,
that's about time, Imran.
and you don't get the money in your hand.
Yeah.
So,
24 seconds. Okay.
what's that?
Yeah, 24 more seconds left, but that's fine.
Oh, do you? No. Go ahead. My timer could be wrong. Go ahead. Play your 20 seconds, man. I don't want you to lose time.
It brings the loan current and it gets added to the loan. So at least you're out of the foreclosure.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, this is something new.
I get everything you just said because my mind is completely overwhelmed.
I know.
Partial claim.
All right.
Yeah. So Brandon, he was messing with the speed. So he was like speeding it up and then slowing it down and speeding it up. So he was able to get farther
gotcha.
along. Yeah, that's how he was able to get farther along in the call. So it looked
My bad.
longer. Yeah, no, you're totally fine. But okay, guys. So we have both of those calls. All right. Now I'm going to put the poll live. Not going to say anything. We'll comment on the calls after you guys vote. We don't want to sway the votes. You guys will have 2 minutes to put your votes out there. And guys, again, remember what you liked about Tom's call, what you disliked, what you liked about Imran's call, what you disliked. Do your best to remember both. Please, if you did not hear both calls, to have a fair opinion on both, withhold from voting. But I'm going to go ahead and put this poll live, and let's see what the people say. While we're doing this, Imran, go ahead and talk to us, man. How are you feeling?
Oh, no, feeling great. I just feel like, I was giving her information to help her out. Later on in the call, she would ask me like, do you buy house? And then I say, yeah, if somebody does not want to buy house, does not want to keep the house, we'll buy. It's like, don't buy my house. I'm like, sure, I will not. I'm just trying to help you out here. So I was trying to build rapport, give her all the information. I know she wants to stay, and I know I can help. But I don't know. I want to know what I did wrong, or how could I improve my skill? Because I'm not very used to making cold calls or talking to people and convince them, because my background, I buy loan, I buy clients, and the client has to talk to me. I come from a different position. I never go try to convince or educate other people like this.
No, that makes perfect sense. All right, Tom, from your perspective, man, obviously you had a seller call. This was a little bit, you said this was from a while back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
we actually put it under contract, and it turned into be a mess actually. He had more liens on the property than he was going to get he was actually going to have to pay me money to buy it. So he backed out of it because of that. So
Okay. Very, very interesting. So, guys, as you guys are voting, we got about 30 seconds left in the voting. Obviously, if you listen to both of the calls, take into consideration, Tom was a direct to seller, and so was Imran. Imran's was more of the pre-foreclosure, foreclosure aspect. Tom's was a little bit of a different situation, different styles, different approaches, different techniques. You got about 10 seconds if you guys want to put any votes in before we finalize the judging on this. 3, 2, 1, and we're ending it with the final results being, by a handful, Tom ends up taking the round. Very, very interesting. And what's crazy is this was the tightest one that I've seen for a long time. Like the whole, up until like the last 30 seconds, it was neck and neck, and it was pretty tied the entire time. I have some pretty stern opinions on this particular call. But I'm also going to take it to the judges, right? We got Jeff Smith up here. We got Brandon. We got Samir. Samir and Jeff are both already in round 2. Brandon, we don't know what's going to happen with him because he's procrastinating. But in any case, they're all the judges here tonight. And guys, remember, the judges here have the opportunity to use a golden glove if they deem necessary or appropriate. It won't disqualify the person who won. It'll just get the extra person going as well. Yeah, definitely a tough one to vote on. So let's go ahead and get some feedback. We'll start with Brandon, and we'll take it to Jeff and wrap it up with Samir.
That was just good job, guys. I was really impressed by you, Imran. You just getting started from what I remember what you said. So the way you carried that conversation looked to provide value. I thought it was really great, and pushing towards reinstatement, empathizing with her. I thought you did a really good job. So yeah, I just wanted to, I just wanted, sorry, I'm sorry. My girlfriend's right here. Also on a meeting. Yeah, no, just good job, Imran, and good job, Thomas. Congratulations. That's all I have.
Good stuff. Get a number 4 if you guys are ordering dinner. Jeff, what you got, bro?
Tom, I like that, it sounds like you just can't be rattled. And that's just such an important thing if you want to be a confident closer. What I do find, though, for closing creative deals is that you have to shut the door to every other option first. I also wish you had gone more into the motivation and the problems. Like, you started talking about some of these issues with the house, and it sounded like you were more interested in the lease. And so I would have redirected my focus more to the pain he was experiencing. Like, holy hell, like, they're paying $500 a month and you got a hole in the roof? Like, this is crazy. Like, this has got to be driving you nuts. So I would have gone a little bit in that direction, kind of amped up the emotion just a little bit. Imran, I like that you're super helpful and obviously very knowledgeable. That's a rare combination to have. There's a lot of amateur wholesalers who are just like, you want to buy the house and blah, blah, blah. So it's very apparent you care about this person. So that's great. What I feel like, though, is you're giving so much information, it's overwhelming. And so while you have great command of it, you have to dumb it down to something a 5th grader can understand. It's like, look, we're going to have to make some tough choices. Your reinstatement amount, what's the value? Okay, we just got to ask ourselves, do you have the money to reinstate it? No? Okay. Do you have family you could borrow it from? No? Okay. Can you qualify for a loan mod? We walk down that path? No. Okay. So if these options don't work, what if selling is the best thing for your family to have a clean slate and not have this catastrophe of foreclosure happen? Because you gave lots of info, and that's really, really good. I felt like she'd kind of been left back at, mile marker 5. That was my thought on that call. Awesome. But yeah, that was a tough one to vote between you two.
Did you actually vote, Jeff?
Yeah, I voted.
Do you mind if I ask who you voted for, or do you want to keep that secret?
I voted for Tom.
Interesting. Okay.
I voted for Tom only because with Imran, again, the only reason, Imran, is it's great to be helpful, but at some point, like, you have to push this person to make a decision. If she's just kind of like, we need to establish if she can even do this. Whereas Tom, like, okay, you didn't dive into the motivation problem as much as I wanted you to, but at least it felt like you were pushing towards, hey, how are we going to make a deal happen here? So that's how he edged out Imran.
Awesome. Samir, what you got, man?
I'm gonna give feedback on Imran's. I didn't get to fully hear Tom's just because I had a call come through, so I don't want to be unfair in my assessment of Tom's. But Imran, I thought you did a really good job, actually. I could see where Jeff is coming from with the idea of giving that amount of information, but so just from personal experience, I've dealt with this type of lead in the past. I used to work specifically short sale foreclosure leads at one point, and it was a very similar conversation. Like, you handled it genuinely extremely well. Like, just knowing stuff, like Jeff mentioned, redemption periods, reinstatements, knowing the difference between the servicers and the actual person holding the note. That's all really good information. I think it was probably maybe even an issue of where you kind of cut the call, because most of what you did was just share the info. And, Jeff or I know, since where the way these calls go, at some point you're going to start to turn towards the path of kind of closing the door on all those and mention, right, that a sale is going to come up, or that might be her best option. A lot of what we heard was you share the info. So I saw the potential of a really good call, right? And for what I heard, it did sound really good. But there was still that part to get to at some point where you were going to kind of talk to her and mention to her, like, hey, we could purchase it. But I like the approach. I like the value add approach, because I've seen people have the same convo two ways. And they will have this convo with the intention, and it almost shows like the commission breadth of they're sharing the info, but they don't really care, right? They want to just be like, yeah, loan mod's not going to work for you. You should sell it to me. And then there's the approach of like genuinely being like, hey, have you tried these things? If they don't work, I'm happy to be a solution if possible. And I feel like you would go in that approach. So I really like the call. I think you did a good job though.
Yeah, to that point, Imran, if you don't buy the house, what do you do? Do you just help them and kind of point them in the right direction?
So yeah, the call was totally 20 minutes, and we did go that route later on. After I was letting her decide instead of me telling what she should be doing. I was giving her all the options where she could get money, private lender, and 401k. I was showing, and then she would shut out all of those options that it's not possible. So slowly I was guiding her and letting her make the decision to sell.
Yeah, so I was
later on.
I was gonna say that too, like in response to Jeff's feedback, because we only heard a clip, and so it's tough. Like, I'm happy to hear that you say that, but yeah, we only heard such a small portion, of this call, So I didn't vote him, but I like where you were going.
Yeah, I'll say this, right? This is really, really interesting. This is why we do this, guys. Obviously, this is a clip. I think both of them did great jobs. Here's the things that I liked and disliked about both of the calls, right? With Thomas, I didn't. So this was a while back. Were you newer to having these types of conversations, or had you been doing them for a while? What's the story surround where you were at, Tom?
I was a little newer having these conversations at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell, right? And that's kind of why I asked that question, because you were asking some newer questions, right? It was really heavy condition focused at the very beginning. And usually when you hear someone talking strictly about condition for a long section of the call, it's usually an indication that either that's a huge factor of the property or they're just newer. Because I don't know how many calls I've had with sellers where I never talk about condition at all. Right. It's less of what's important in the conversation at the beginning phases. Right. And so the fact that was a primary focus was kind of indicative that it was newer, and it felt like you were going sub 2 only, like that was it. To Jeff's point, right. My philosophy, unless you're specifically only calling to buy for yourself, the conversation, in my opinion, should probably be cash, creative last. Why? For a number of different reasons. But if you want to make it down to the simplest one, negotiations, right? Because you need to anchor with something. Anchoring is bringing down how low the options are, so that way when you present that creative option, it sounds like a breath of fresh air, not a thing of confusion that they're really, really unfamiliar with. And so just the way you pitched it was like really, it's just like, okay, so I'm going to buy your house. How about creative? How about creative? So I don't have to get a loan, right? And the way you presented it was even in that light. You literally said, how about we do something that's along, and the way you presented a seller carry was good. And then you ended your presentation by saying, so that way we don't have to worry about going and getting a loan. And it's like, well, you could have just left that part out. That's a you problem. You could have ended with the benefit instead of with the issue that you're saving him, or that he would be saving you, right? And so it was just, you could tell there was some newer stuff, but I did like the direction you were going. Imran, I 100% hear where Jeff was coming from. It's a little bit tough on those calls because it's a catch-22. I think it's a personality thing, because that is a call where people need information. They need the details on how to overcome the situation, because what they think is helping, or is their options, isn't helping. So getting into the details is actually a value add in those calls, more so than other calls. But I do agree with Jeff in that simplifying usually never hurts, right? So I love the breakdown of here, okay, is this an option for you? Yes or no? Is this an option for you? Yes or no? Is this an option for you? You're not sure? Okay, let's pursue that. Okay, because if none of those are your options, now let's recap. None of these are an option. What you're left with is selling, right? And then so what you do is, before you get to that point, say, well, if none of these work, what are you open to? Are you open to selling if we try all these roads and they don't work? They know that that's what's coming. So if none of those work, you revisit. Well, this is what we discussed. None of them worked. Here's where we sit. So as feedback's concerned, I would say that I would just tee up what you're about to say better, right? Here's what I want to get into today. Normally when I'm working with these situations, here's what I find. What have you found? Show them the couple of doors that they have, so that way they understand where they're at in the journey as you're going through those steps with them, so they don't get overwhelmed with way too much information. Because too much information is a great way to get people to say, I need to think about it, which means that I just don't want to talk to you anymore because you confuse me, right? So if you present the conversation in an organized fashion, exactly the way Jeff submitted it, and then settle them, but if none of those work, would you be open to selling, or would you rather just let the bank take it in foreclosure? It's the world's simplest, stupidest question, but it's one you have to ask, because that's the reality that they're not willing to face oftentimes. So saying something like, I want to do everything I can to help you, genuinely what I want to do is a part of what we do. But if none of those options work, are you interested in selling to avoid this process and save yourself all of the headache that comes with that? Or do you want to just let the bank take it, right? And then go from there. I loved your intro. I am calling because it looks like you may be having a problem with a bank, and I want to see if I can help you with that. You literally made the bank the common enemy, and she opened up immediately. So in all of that, I think they were both great calls. Brandon and Samir do not have the ability to vote. I also would have went your direction, Imran, if it was up to me. It wouldn't have been enough to get you over, right? Because you would have still been down by 2. But as co-hosts, we're not able to vote for the calls. But yeah, I thought your call was a little bit more succinct and intentional, even if it was a little bit wordy in certain areas. But I think both of you guys had really, really good calls. And at the end of the day, Tom rightfully earned his place in round 2. Tom, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, real good. This is the first time I've actually talked on the Nightly Dial, even though I've been on a lot of them. I've been in sub 2 for a while now, so.
Yeah.
So I when we were on last week, I'm like, I want to look and find the call and submit it. And I found some of the newer ones, the recordings were not very good. So that's why I picked up this one. I knew it was an older one, but and I was newer at that point on calling people and stuff. So I feel good about it.
Man. That's awesome. It's going to be really exciting to see you in round 2. I definitely think you guys had both great calls. I think this is a really good matchup. And so it was really cool to see kind of both of you guys go. Any final words before you wrap up, Imran? You came out the blue, man. You literally called today just to be ready, which speaks overwhelming volumes, dude. So how are you feeling?
No, feeling great. I mean, it's good to have that feedback. And thinking back or looking back, I think I was trying to give that much information just to establish me as a credible partner for her. Like I thought, if I could share all this information, then she would have trust in me and then she would work with me. At the end, she was so happy. She was like, "God bless you," blah blah. And she's gonna call me back. But that was the intention. They give her the information so she will trust me.
Yeah. I don't think your excess use of information was a bad thing in this call. I think it could be a bad thing in other calls. In this situation, I think it served you, right? And I think that probably got you progress in this situation. You could tell by the way she was communicating with you. It was great rapport. I'm interested in seeing how everything goes. But I appreciate both of you guys coming up here. Guys, the judges have the opportunity for any Golden Gloves tonight. So Imran, I would say hang out in case any of that happens to fly out here this evening. But I appreciate you guys both stepping up here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Samir, hit that wheel, man. Let's get through these final 2 rounds tonight and see what the people are working with.
Hey, real quick, in the spirit of trying to get somebody else to compete, Carlos Vasquez, I see you there, brother. Are you competing?
Direct call out, bro.
Interesting.
Did he drop? I just saw
he's
him.
right there. He's right there.
Oh.
I don't know if you can hear you. He had his headphones off. He's a gangster.
Okay.
He's a gangster rapper. Did you guys see that though? We'll spotlight him in a minute. Yo, Brandon, what's funny is I didn't hear you call yourself out.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna get it in.
Okay. Sounds super hypothetical, but okay.
That's the classic. We gonna see.
We're gonna see. I got you.
We'll see you when I see you.
Uh-oh. All right, we got Marixa. Who is she going? I'm calling out Martio. I think it's gonna be Martio. That's who I'm thinking it's gonna be. I don't control the picker wheel, but I'm guessing it's gonna be Martio. I was right last time. Let's see if I'm right this time.
I might need to buy a lottery ticket, bro.
I mean, you could bet against me if you want to. If you want to. All right. So Marcel and Rick are going to be the final 2 for the evening. We'll spin to see who goes first. Right now, we got Martio going against Marixa. Where is Marixa right now? I do not see her camera on. Oh, there she is. Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Okay.
Are you nervous?
The call is not, yeah, I'm nervous as hell. How many people? 80 something people here.
Yeah.
It's not that great. I feel like I was a guy and I was just trying to get straight to the hotel and not actually open the door and, do all the dating stuff. But yeah, that's
interesting.
That's the one I submitted.
Interesting that you chose a hotel versus like your place or theirs. But okay, I understand the background thing.
So I just feel like, yeah. So let's see what happens.
I love it. Okay. I'm excited to see. Yours is going to be going first. Samir, do you have the call ready? Is it already pre-clipped?
It is. It's a little over. It's like 7:40. You want to first 40 seconds, last 40 seconds?
Last 40 seconds, you can take it off.
Okay, perfect. All right. Just let me know if you guys can hear it. I'm going to play it right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming through fine. Okay, quick thing, guys.
Renee. Hi, Renee. This is just Marix.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Guys, so remember, if you're going to be listening to this, you guys are going to be voting. Marixa's going first and Marcio's going second. Remember what you like, don't like. Take the notes you need to take. We're going to go directly from Marixa going over to Marcio. We're going to withhold our feedback to the end so that we don't sway anybody's votes. Make sure you guys vote for whoever you like the most, and then we will go from there. Samir, do you think, bro?
So with Sunset Home Solutions, it looks like you recently spoke to one of our partners about possibly selling your house. And I just had time to getting back to you now to see if we could help. Are you still interested in selling your property?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good. And what are you looking to, why are you looking to sell the house?
Well, honestly, we're moving out of the area. I kind of live probably an hour from that property, but we're just trying to move. Family kind of moved up north.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Just want to get rid of it.
All right. When you say you want to move up north, how do you mean?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Family's moving to Pennsylvania, so
Oh,
we just want to
gotcha.
sell the property and go on.
Okay, so you want to be close to family, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are you looking to get for your house?
I mean, I was hoping to get as much as it's worth. I think I saw like 240 or 250 on Zillow.
Got you. All right. All right, so we would have to run the numbers just to see exactly how much it would be. What's the condition of your property? Like, what does it look like
Uh,
inside?
it is exactly how it is. They have bought it. All I've done is changed fits and paint. Everything else is
The original?
correct.
All right. So then, how would you rate your house? Like 10 being the best if you really haven't done anything.
I give it a 7.
Okay. All right. So, and could you confirm with me like the bedrooms and the bathroom just to make sure that Zillow has it correctly?
It's a 3-2.
Gotcha. And is anyone living in the property now?
Yes, we've had the same tenants for about 3 years now,
Gotcha.
and the lady and her family.
Okay. And have you seen the house recently?
I haven't been there. God, I'd say over a year. I haven't been to that property.
Gotcha. And besides getting close to family, what other reason has you thinking about possibly selling?
Just it's kind of a headache dealing with the rent every month, and especially we're not going to be in the state anymore, so I'd either have to get a property management company, and I don't want to do that. So
Okay.
I don't want to consider the headache.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. And how long have you been thinking about selling prior to my call?
We've been a good part of the year. We're just not really haven't pulled the trigger on anything, but in the last 30 days, I'd say I was a little bit more eager, especially now I'm knowing for sure that everybody's transitioning over back to up north.
Got you. And what happens if you don't sell the property?
Never thought of that. I'm going to sell it. If I don't sell it, it has to keep getting rented out by the tenants. Their lease ends in February, I want to say, so if we got to renew it,
Okay.
it is what it is.
So that's coming up. So, we can close as quickly or as slowly as you like. With that being said, what time of framework are you looking for? Like what time? Like 30 days, 60 days?
Yeah, I'd say about 45 to 60 days.
Gotcha. Now, where you're going, have you found your next house? Or do you need this money to be able to get your next house where you're going in Pennsylvania?
I'd stay with family for a little bit, and then eventually we'd find our own thing and buy our own property.
Gotcha. So, what number did you have in mind for this place since you haven't really done anything to the property? A ballpark, at least.
I'm open to offers. I saw Zillow had like 230, 240, something like that.
Okay.
So I'd be comfortable, as close as that as I can possibly get.
Got you. Okay. Do you happen to know what some of the houses are going for in that neighborhood?
I do not.
Okay. So just so you know, we're investors, so we want to get the property for the lowest we can, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually go in there and rehab it. So we're gonna have to spend some money. We sometimes what we want is not always the best interest of the seller. So what are you looking like to walk away with?
I'm open to offers, It'd be nice to walk away with like 220, 215.
Okay, so I can't promise you that I can get you that number, but I can try to do everything in my power to get as close as possible to that number. So I can see, what I can do. What I would have to do is, with what you said, let me just, get back to my partners and see, what they're thinking. So if you get 220, you're willing to sign right away?
Yeah. If we can sell it like end of January, early February, yeah.
Okay. And then you're the only person on the property? You don't have a wife?
Correct. I'm the only one on the property.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is thank you for your time today. And I'm going to send this information to one of our property.
That is time. We have about 30 seconds left. Seems like Mart's going for the close there, so.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, guys, remember what you liked and didn't like. Make sure you take the notes. We're going to go to Marcio. We're going to listen to both calls, and we'll launch the poll.
Let's do it. Okay, Martio. Okay, I'm just going to skip, make sure. Okay. This is pre-clip, so we should be good to go on this.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. Who's calling?
Hi, my name is Marcio. I'm calling regarding your property for sale in Palm Deserts on Haystack Road. Do you have a few minutes to talk about it?
So let me tell you this.
Sure.
I am the owner of the house. I'm also a broker.
Perfect.
Okay. You got that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I have a real estate license and I'm not planning to use it unless we have to. I'm just an investor. And thank you. We both disclosed our parts. Can you tell me a little bit more about the property?
What do you want to know?
Well,
you have seen the listing, right?
I only see Zillow listing, and it doesn't show any pictures. It only shows me the outside, which looks beautiful, nice sidewalk. But
yeah, it has been listed. I just canceled the listing for the holidays.
Oh,
but
okay.
It has been in the MLS all along.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at it. Somebody pointed out to me to look at it yesterday. And
Okay. It is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath home.
Okay.
2450 is the square footage. So what I did, because I didn't need the 3rd bedroom for my own, the house has 2 master bedrooms, one at each end of the property.
Okay.
Opposite ends. So I blocked the entrance to one of those master bedrooms from the living room, and I converted that master bedroom into a casita, created a kitchen there. So if a buyer needs the flow of the 3 bedrooms, all that it has to be done is open the wall, and then you have your 3-bedroom home, or you can have the 2-bedroom with a casita. 2-car garage, fully finished, solar panels, and the pool has a swim-up bar, waterfall.
Nice.
Yeah, it is a beautiful property. So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for an investment, and it seems like you have you're using it as a short-term rental as well. Are you
familiar with the regulations in Palm Desert?
No, maybe that you can help me with that.
Yeah, the only way that you can get a permit for short-term, meaning 28 days or less, is if you live in the property, and that's what I did.
Okay. And do they have any restriction for mid-term rental, like traveling nurses?
You can rent over 30 days with no permit.
Okay. So sometimes I live in San Francisco, and similar regulations. I can do long or medium-term rentals, and I'm able to get around that with traveling nurses and stuff like that. Other question, let's see. So is that 2 separate entrances in that case to or do I have to go through the house to go to that casita?
No, you can go through the casita from the side gate.
Okay.
And in the other side of the garage, there is a small gate. And then there's a gate that goes to the entrance of the house. There are two separate gates. So you just go around. Or you can enter the casita through the garage.
I see. And you mentioned the solar. Is that owned or is it leased?
It's leased, $200 a month.
Okay. And for Southern California, it's probably cheap because the electricity is.
For the desert, because
Yeah.
are you familiar with the area?
My ex-wife is from Rancho Mirage.
Oh, okay.
Very
so
close.
You better have the solar panels in the summertime.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. And you own this property. It's been on the market for a while. Did you get any feedback as a broker, especially?
I'm sorry?
Did you get any feedback? How come it's been on the market for a while?
Yeah, it was a short while. I don't even remember if I got the 60-day mark. You're in a very bad timing.
I see. And let's see. And what is that? Why are you selling it? Are you moving?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you moving to? The desert? or mountains?
To the ocean.
The ocean.
Marina del Rey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a cool place too. Yeah, most people that live in the areas tend to have a place by the ocean. My ex used to have a place in Laguna Niguel. Well, that's a different story, but and you're at 1.25.
No. 1,145,000.
Oh, okay. It says 1,025,000 priced.
Oh, you're looking, yeah.
I'm looking at Zillow.
I know what you're looking at. You're looking at a for sale by owner when I started a little while before I listed.
Oh, so you listed it twice?
It was listed for 1,045,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I have several people that, they're very interested, and we're still kind of connecting there.
Okay.
So what is your idea here? Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I was wondering, well, first of all, the pricing. Do you think that's a fair pricing for the area?
Certainly. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see what else. Would you be open to do some creative financing for a portion of the price?
I am. With a very strong down payment, yes.
Of course.
55%.
How much?
Minimum 55%.
55. What makes it 55? That's an interesting number.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll have to figure out.
His time.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. All right, you heard both calls. Only vote if you listen to them both. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you didn't like. Let us know who took that call. The poll is live. Very, very, very interesting to hear both of those calls. I definitely have a lot of feedback on these two. Brandon, do you have any brief summaries here on this?
No, I don't have anything. I think Jeff does though.
All right, Jeff, try to keep it brief so that way we don't sway anybody for the remaining 90 seconds of voting. But what do you got? And then we'll get into the details once the voting closes.
Yeah, so for Marixa, like that's a good lead. Obviously, that person is having good conversation with you. It feels like you're really reading off the script. So as you get more experience, this tonality will go away. It just takes time. What I think that would improve it for you is when they come over and they're like, "Yeah, I want maximum retail value." you have to be a bit firmer to come back and say, look, there's no money in it for me at that point. Like, if that's what you want, like, why don't you just hire a handyman and do it yourself? Why not hire a realtor and do it yourself? What am I doing here? To figure out like why they won't just take that path, right? There must be a problem to justify the discount. So I would just push a little more forcefully on it next time. Mauricio, oh God, what do we say about realtors and brokers? It is unreal how bad some of them are at selling. She goes over this whole description before even finding out what you wanted to buy it for. And just like, oh my God, this is just painful to listen to. Anyway, the other thing that I love to flip the script on, she's like, I want 55% down. Great. If you'll take a second lien position, didn't see that Uno reverse card come in there. You take the second lien position, I'll you bring in my mortgage to take the first. Yeah, we'll do this thing, no problem. So anyway, the other thing though, guys, with agents is I always avoid asking them why the owner is selling until I get into negotiating mode. So Mauricio, when you call this list, you got to be ready to throw down some kind of number. Even if it's just wild out of the air, like she's listing it for $1 million. Hey, I think I could do this cash. I'm probably coming in at like 700 grand. You don't like it? Okay, cool. Well, let's figure this out. Why is your seller selling? Why are you selling? Let's figure this out. But if you come in without a number, it just makes the conversation kind of deteriorate. But yeah, she was a tough customer.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm going to go ahead and share the results. The poll is officially complete. And it looks like the W goes to Marissa, the moneymaker, Nieves. Congratulations, lady, on taking the W here. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I was just worried about that I didn't really build rapport, and I'm really good at building rapport, but I guess, I don't know, I felt like I just needed to go straight, and just go into why does he want to sell, and he told me why he wanted to sell, how much he wants, and he said that the tenants have been in there 3 years and he hasn't done anything to the property, so that was the condition. And I was going for a cash offer.
Okay. Marzio, I got a quick question for you, man. Was that a direct to seller lead or a direct to agent lead? Was it seller that ended up actually also being an agent?
I was having a hard time calling sellers, so I called Fizbo's on Zillow. And to me, that she was a Fizbo. And she's a Fizbo. She just happened to be a broker as well. So she disclosed the first part at the beginning, and then I moved on. I was talking to a seller for most of the part.
Shout out to Marzio for leveraging the gray area. I like that. So here's my feedback on both of these calls, guys. I think you did both a good job. Marissa, as I'm listening, here's what I hear, and I want you to tell me if I'm wrong or not. When I listen to you call, I hear a person who's not new, who's been doing this for a little bit, a person who's tries to pick things up, right? I heard a couple of lines that I've heard other people use, right? So you're obviously listening. You're trying to learn some stuff. All you need is some practice. Like, you need a place to like hone in and really, really get in there and just practice, because it's almost like, like the dough that you need to flatten out, and it's like, it's there, it's got all the ingredients, it's just bumpy, right? Ain't nobody out here trying to eat bumpy bread. And so you just need to roll that stuff out and really, really get it to the right condition so it's ready to bake. That's what I hear when I listen to your calls. How, like, am I on point with that? Am I incorrect? What's the situation?
You're right. I need more reps. I haven't been putting like my reps in, so definitely that's exactly what it is.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I heard a couple lines that I recognized in there. Marcio, dude, you did a great job with that call.
Yeah. You got it on the notes, exactly what you wrote. That's exactly where it's from. I'm part of them as well.
Oh, interesting. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm part of the ladies, the NEPQ and mythology.
Oh, very nice.
But I just started not too long ago, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, and if you guys notice, I've been doing this for a little while, right? And so, you become a student of the game. And so when I hear things, I usually can tell where they're coming from. So I heard a handful of lines that I knew kind of where they were. I put one in the chat if you guys caught it, and it turns out that was exactly where that was from. But you learn, right? If you really want to get good at this, you should take it seriously. Now, guys, you can get out there and you can randomly dial phone numbers and hope that you get somebody that vibes with you and you guys get along and you have a really good conversation. And guess what? We're in an industry where you can make $100,000 on a deal. You may do okay by doing that. You'll probably do fine as long as you're able to overcome the things. But if you really want to get good at this, you can. Right? You just got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to really, really dig in and learn the nuances, learn the details. And you can tell when someone is and when they're not. You can tell when someone knows and when someone doesn't. Here's the thing. Whether you realize it or not, so can the sellers. They just don't realize it the majority of the time. And so if you can put yourself in a position to differentiate yourself and actually understand the skills that go into this, like people like Marixa are doing, it's going to put you in a position to win. You know what I mean? Marzio, great job, man. I really, really think you did a great job. Samir, let's hear some thoughts.
I'm going to keep it pretty quick. I agree with a lot of what Jeff said, Marzio, on that call, with the agents especially. It's tough coming from an agent. I make the joke, but agents do have the ultimate combination of confidence and a lack of knowledge. So with the agent, I mean, it's putting your head against a brick wall oftentimes. But, in that conversation, I think, the difference with Marixa and you is the fact that in that conversation, the agent genuinely, it felt like to me, had a lot of control in that conversation. You were going along with what she was saying. You were asking questions, so I do like that you were actively listening. So it's not like you were just going off just a set of questions you already had, but she would bring up something and then you would ask a little bit more, and then you would just kind of go down this path with her. I would like to see you challenge her a little bit more. And with agents especially, that's really important, just to kind of challenge them a little bit in that conversation and let them know, like, hey, I'm here for something. Even to Jeff's point, like, even if you throw a number out there, sure, she might laugh at that number, but again, it's not no joke to pay someone $700,000, right? So at least she knows that you're an investor who has a serious offer that you're looking to make. Maritza, I would say I like your call overall. I like the fact that you had intention there and that you were trying to move him along. I think the reps are going to make a big difference for you in the sense of it not coming across so much like a script. I think that's probably the one thing I would have tried to improve a little bit, where it's a little too following this path. But, it's a good foundation to lay, because at least it lets you push a convo along like a specific, set of steps, and then there's intention there. But I think you guys obviously both, shout out to you guys for getting into the mix. Strong things about both of you, right? Like, Maurizio, I think, Marzio, I think you do a good job being conversational. I just think that intentionality, actually, funny enough, that Marzio used could work in your favor. And then I actually think if you guys kind of just swap some of those things, like Marzio, I think if you were just a little more conversational, right? If you just kind of stopped and smelled the rose a little bit in that convo, it would have went a lot better. But great job on both of you guys.
Yeah, Marzio, we'll work on some stuff, man. I just hear so much opportunity with the way you present. You had mentioned your accent. I don't think your accent, from what I heard in that conversation, is a hindrance at all, right? I think it's actually something that you can leverage in your favor. And so it's just a matter of knowing that and going into it and not getting in your head. But really, really good stuff. Brandon, any final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, it was just for, it's Marixa. Is that how I pronounce it?
Marixa.
Yes.
Okay, because I've been bad at it so far. Pronouncing name.
It's a struggle to go back to back on the names.
Yeah, no, I just had similar feedback. Like, it just sounds like you're reading. So I think a good thing that you could do is just repeat and acknowledge, right? Like, that's just the fundamental of any conversation. When you repeat and acknowledge, people feel heard, and then it makes the conversation sound a lot smoother. So, it's just like, hey, Jeff, where are you from? Houston? Oh, Houston, fantastic. I love it down there. How long you been out in Houston? Right? With some, with changing your tone in and out, up and down. Even if you're still reading, at least just make it a little conversation by doing that. It could be repeat and acknowledge. It could be acknowledge and repeat what they say and then hit the next question. But we naturally do it in conversation every day, and it's really the fundamental of communication. So if you do that, combine it. You do that combined with whatever you're reading or whatever you're implementing, then it could go a lot smoother. And then I'm not a fan of it, but maybe other people are, but just saying like, hey, I'm trying to get the property for as low as possible and I'm an investor. I find that they don't really care, and I don't think it does much for you. I think you can explain your business model or say what you're trying to accomplish without saying that. I think like disqualifying other solutions, like Jeff said, you can still do that without, hey, I'm trying to get your property as low as possible. I'm just not a fan of it, but maybe people would just have a different way of doing it.
No,
And
I
then,
agree, Brandon. Just so you know, that was one of the things I forgot to mention. It was going to mention that there was so many different ways that line could have been delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Marcio, my feedback for you was that line of showing the parts was hilarious. Now that we've showed each other's parts, that was good. Similar thing with just like, Jeff hit it on the head. Like, man, what does Jeff say exactly?
Whatever it is you agree.
Number and ways to negotiate.
Whatever it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I don't do any agent outreach, but I know of sellers that typically don't use the terms creative finance. I'm not sure, maybe sometimes it can go over people's head, but really just elaborating on what you're trying to accomplish versus using a term and hoping that they can understand that. You want to simplify it, right? Like, hey, what if I made payments on it versus what if I did something creative? Creative itself could be taken so many different ways, and you've probably been on conversations with people on this call can take it. Have probably seen situations where somebody would just say yes, just to say yes to something, or they may be like, yeah, creative, but their definition of it is totally different. So just simplify it. Hey, what if I made payments on this over time? What if we kept your mortgage in place and then I made payments on the equity, right? So that there's no misunderstandings, and then that yes you get, it's fully understood from all parties. So yeah, that was the feedback I had. So good job, guys. Good job.
Good stuff, guys. I'd like everybody to take a moment, right? I put a lot of thought and intentionality behind the names that I put for everybody that's up here. And I'd like everybody to look at the way I put Marcio's name, right? I wanted to see if you guys appreciated the way I put his name into the poll, right? Can you guys see that because he's Italian, and then there's spaghetti at the end, right? I just wanted to make sure everybody saw that because it's this with the pasta, just to really show love and appreciation for Marcio. Marcio, you crushed it, man. Really, really appreciate you jumping in here, brother. Seriously.
Isn't that akin to them like flipping you off?
This part?
I mean,
no, I think this is like a term of endearment. Like
endearment, it is.
That's not what was happening in the Middle East when people were in my rear view mirror going like this.
Yeah, maybe that's a little different. Maybe that's a little different.
Love you, bro.
I don't think that's what they were saying.
All right, good stuff. Final two of the night. Let's go ahead and spin it, Samir, and see what's going on. Marixa, congratulations. And we're going to see you in round two, lady.
Hold on, guys. Give me 1 sec. I think it's freaking out on me. Let me pull this up. Hey, DQ, man, you talking about being a student, bro. When you putting out the course, man? I'm trying to... Where's course? Teacher DQ at, bro?
Oh, Teacher DQ came out last week, bro.
Tell me more, please.
Nah, I mean, guys, you guys know I've been teaching training in Sub 2 for years, and Pace has strongly encouraged me to put out a coaching program, which officially launched last week. Samir's probably making a joke because it probably should have launched like last year, and it didn't, and that's fine. I take responsibility for that. But the moral of the story is it's here now, and I'm really, really excited about it. Right, I'm still have every intention of being here and doing the cool stuff and the free stuff in the Sub 2 community, because you guys have pretty much everything you can need to be successful in real estate in this space. But I nerd out on sales. I've been doing this for a very, very long time, right? Like my first role of teaching people how to do sales was in 2004. And I've worked in most industries. I've coached in most industries. And so I have a passion about this. And so I just think that, kind of like what we were saying with Maritza, with whatever you do, right? Whether it's creative finance, whether it's buying, whether it's lending, or it's talking to sellers, you got to be intentional, learn the ropes, and just differentiate yourself from everybody else, right? You guys want to see what that looks like? Look at Pace. Pace is the epitome of doing what other people are doing, but doing it better because he's more consistent than everybody else and he differentiates himself. And, I'm just trying to follow in those footsteps. So I'm excited about it, man.
No problem. Where can I find out more? Because evidently I don't check emails. So
Yeah, you don't check emails. You don't check anything.
I don't check any message.
Check out my Instagram, man. Yeah, I don't really talk about a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pace has told me a million times it would be okay for me to talk about it here, but I try to be super respectful about it. So if anybody's, they can hit me on the Instagram or whatever the case may be.
Hold on, I'm just having a little trouble sharing. Give me one. Okay, hold on. Just tell me if you guys can see this. No, that's wrong again. Are you guys seeing it now? Yes? No?
Boom. You got the audio?
I believe so.
Okay. If not, it's okay. We'll survive. We'll pretend fake cheer.
Oh, let's go.
All right, Rick. Where you at, Rick? Here it is. I mean, I called it. It's a 50-50 on this one, so it's not as impressive, but I still called it. I just want it to be noted for the record. All right, guys. So Rick's first. Right. Marcella's wrapping up the evening. Same rules. We're going to go through these final two calls, and you guys are going to vote for who goes forward. Maybe a Golden Glove gets used tonight. Maybe the Golden Glove stays in the drawer and gets saved for another day. That is yet to be determined. Let me get these two lovely people up here. Marcella, how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you only doing this because the Bash Bros peer pressured you into doing it? What's the situation?
All of the above, Daniel.
Yeah.
All of the above. Actually, I'm a little nervous because I had to follow a new script on this call. And so I was kind of trying to read the script and keep the conversation going. And so that was a real challenge for me tonight. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Well, let's see how this plays out. Rick, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. You coming out here for the W?
This is only my second.
The point.
Oh, yeah. I'm always winning. Even when I'm losing, I'm winning.
Let's go. I love it.
Love it. Good job.
Rick, quick question for you, bro. This call is about 12 minutes. So do you want to cut first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes? Or somewhere in the middle, I guess?
Last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes?
Last 5 minutes is fine.
Gotcha. Just play the first 7 minutes then.
Yeah, just play it.
Sweet. Alrighty.
All right, guys, remember the rules. Listen to the last two. We'll put the vote out there, and you guys decide who takes it. Shout out to Marcelo for joining us from Aspen this evening.
Hello.
Good morning, Jim. My name is Rick Daniels. I'm a buyer in the area. And I've been trying to contact you for a little bit. I'm looking at 5903 Hudson Street. I think it's Unit A. Is it still for sale?
It is. I have to tell you, supposedly I have 2 offers on the way, but nothing's in the inbox yet.
I hear you. Especially today, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of offers are you getting?
Well, it's really funny. The person who seems really most interested has a house in that same area that he wants to sell. He's trying to downsize. And so he's trying to do a deal of, supposedly he wants to rent it for 6 months to give his property time to sell, and then it would be a cash offer. Yeah. And he's looking at a full price offer, supposedly. Of course, he's trying to negotiate on the rental price and stuff, but all of this is through text messages, and there's no 1-to-4 contracted. I've been talking to the sellers, and the seller is pretty intelligent. He's a treasury for a fairly large mortgage company, so he kind of knows what's going on. So, we'll see what happens. And then there's supposedly a couple driving up from Austin to take a look at it. They just sold their house in Austin. Their daughter had a baby who lives in that area, and they're looking for a smaller place. So those are the 2 deals that are cooking. They haven't indicated any kind of idea about what they would want to do price wise. Okay. Are you an investor, or what's your situation?
Yeah, we do invest. We invest all over the place, primarily in that Houston area and some other areas. We have my partner's name is Dustin. I'm sure you contacted you probably about a few weeks ago.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I don't know if
his offer was like 480 or something.
Was it 480 for cash?
Yeah. I mean, these folks are not in any trouble. They've been carrying it for a while. They've even got a family member they might rent it to. So, we're gonna leave it on the market probably through Thanksgiving, and then I think they're gonna, because of the market situation and people having trouble, they'll probably lease it to a family member for a while and see what happens. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's an M Street property, you know.
Yeah.
The number's going to start with a high 5, or they're not going to sell it.
Right, and then he mentioned that you guys were open to seller finance. Is that something you guys are still open to?
You know, I have to talk to Ed. At one time he said, you know, they could carry some paper. He understands what that would be like. You know, like I say, if he has told me he's really tired of me texting in the middle of the night with, hey, what would you think about this? He says, send me a 1 to 4.
Right, and that's what we want to eventually get down to. But you know, the thing is, we want to make sure that we, you know, it's like that, you know, that offer game that people play with that I don't really care for. It's like how much, and then just tell us what you want, and then if we can do it, we can do it. If we can't, we can't. You know, that way we don't, you know, BS each other. Most of the time, most of the properties that we purchase with creative finance, because of the market. We're not gonna go conventional, because it's just so difficult. And the interest rates are not going down anytime soon.
Correct. Well,
so what we like to do, what we normally do when we have someone who's like stuck on the price, there's not a lot of wiggle room. We'll meet them at that price as long as we can get the terms that we like for all 3 parties. I mean, if we get the terms we like, we even pay the, you know, portions of the, you know, or all of the commissions for the agent and the closing costs, to make it even better win-win.
Is my son-in-law's sister, so I'm the selling agent, and I'm not charging the commission.
Oh, okay.
So there's, you know, we have a lot of wiggle room there, and I don't know if we're looking at paying 2.5 to a buyer's agent if such happens. So we've got that expense pretty much under control. And
yeah, and I represent myself, so we don't, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're both doing that. So that's awesome. So I mean, even if there was a little, you know, if there's a down payment, if they, you know, but the reason why I'm calling this up.
If we're carrying the paper, which we have sold 3 houses in the past year where we've carried the paper. I have a small mortgage company, but I'm loaned out right now. I don't have anything available, and with the T-bill rates being what they are, you know, it's hard to loan anything out unless it's 8 or 9 hard money right now. So,
yeah.
It depends on, you know, like I say, tell us what you want to do, and if, you know, give us a ballpark, and we won't waste your time filling out the 1 to 4 unless it's something that we're seriously going to consider.
Okay, so do you have like a down payment in mind, or are they just?
Yeah, we're looking at 20. You know, just because of the way things are, we don't, and we're also looking at a balloon situation. We're doing 5 to 7 year balloons.
Okay.
That's just what we've been doing, and it's been working for us so far.
You said 7. You said 7-year balloon.
Yeah, that's the top that we've done. We like 5, but lately we've been soft-hearted and we've done a couple 7s.
Yeah, 5's hard to come by these days. So, and then you said 20,000. 20%. Okay, that's the hard.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think about negotiating that 20%.
You know, everything in life is negotiable, and like I say, I'd put it in front of Ed if it's a realistic offer, and see what he says.
Right. Hey, I like that. Hey, I just don't want to send you something that's going to be insulting, and then I get ghosted.
Insulted. I mean, you know, the property's worth whatever you're willing to pay for it. That's what it's worth to you. Maybe worth a lot more to somebody else, but that's what it's worth to you. And I understand that game. I don't get much attached to these things. Right. I just went through selling my airplane, and I was highly insulted, and I ended up selling it and done amount because the airplane market's not real good right now. So
right.
There you go.
And then, did you look at the comps in the area for that unit?
Yeah, we have been looking. We watch it every month. We watch the sales. We see what's going on, and you know the comments that people have made. We've shown it 31 times.
That is 7 minutes.
Boom, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Get out the pen and piece of paper. Write down the notes. Remember everything you can, because now It's Marcella's turn.
Hello.
Sorry. Okay, so Marcella, similar. This is almost 12 minutes. Where do you want to cut this call off?
So in the email, let's see if you can start at 2:36.
Okay, I gotcha.
And
Okay.
stop at 7.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
2:36 and stop at 7.
Hello.
That's it. That's all you want to play.
Hi.
Interesting. So she does not want to use her entire 7 minutes.
Okay. Boom. All right, guys. I'm about to play the call.
Of your husband.
Right.
And and to help him
He's
in
never
any
been
way.
sick.
Oh,
He's never been
gosh.
sick. We've
Oh.
been married 50 years, and
Oh, really?
if
Oh my gosh.
he never missed a day of work. He,
Yes.
never
We're
was
at
sick.
2:50 now.
Okay, got it.
Go
Okay,
further back?
sorry. No, I just want to make sure you started at 2 minutes and 36 and then go from there. Because that's kind of like more the intro.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, this is at 2:52 right now. Is that good?
Yeah, so that's where you started was 2:52.
No, I started 2:36. So like we got about 50.
Perfect. That's good. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just run it back a little bit just so everyone gets the context. You have extra time.
Of your husband.
Right.
And and to help him
He's
in
never
any
been
way.
sick.
Oh,
He's never been
gosh.
sick. We've
Oh.
been married 50 years, and
Oh, really?
if
Oh my gosh.
he never missed a day of work. He, never was sick. This is his
Right.
first,
Mm.
bout with it,
Mm.
and then, this started in August, and
Oh no.
it just progressed to. We didn't find out for a while because it took him a long time.
Oh
So
yeah.
now we're just having to. He never smoked, so
Oh.
they're thinking it might have came from Agent Orange when he was in Vietnam. That's the only thing they have to come up with.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, I heard about some of those things happening
Yeah.
there. I mean, I'm not real familiar, but I can say that that's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm so
It is.
sorry.
It
Yeah.
is.
Well, and it
But-
sounds like your daughter's not too far. I mean, is she relatively like this
Well,
move
she's in
won't be too big?
Callahan.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she's in
Yeah.
Callahan. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's
But
not
we
that
do
far.
have to buy. No, but we do want to, make sure we buy something. It won't be like this, but
Mhm.
we're gonna buy something,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
with all the interest rates and stuff that is right now, we can't, it's terrible.
Oh,
So,
it's
but anyway,
it's really ridiculous
we
out there right now, for sure. Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
had it appraised.
Oh, okay.
It appraised for 368.
Okay.
2 days ago.
Appraised for
And
368. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
And you are accepting
and
offers through tomorrow, like you
well,
said.
if you have something, if you need something longer, we will. I mean, we're not going anywhere right now, so
Okay.
we just did that because we had 3 people that really wanted us, to make a decision, and
I see.
I'm not one to be pressured into something when I,
No. No.
right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, you'll know when it's the right one, and then
we will.
you'll
And
make
we've
the right decision and move
we've
forward.
done some upgrades in the last year, but not a whole lot. Just like the vent hood in the kitchen and the faucet in the kitchen and backsplash, and we haven't changed any countertops. We
Okay.
were going to do that before the roof dropped on us.
Oh
But
my. Ugh.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's where we are, and you can kind of tell. You can go over. We had it up for sale through I think it was Exit Realty, and
Oh,
we were going
okay.
to sell back then.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's when all the illness started. So I took it off the market. I said, no,
Mm.
we can't be home to have everybody run in and out, and then, it was just getting too hard because we
Oh,
have to
yeah.
leave, and so we just said, no, we can't do that.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
took it off the market. Yeah, but it
I
was
can't blame
up on
you.
theirs.
Yeah,
No, we just
I saw that, and then I realized, okay, now it's off again. So usually that
yeah
tells me something else has changed, whatever that might
yeah
be, right? Like you said,
yeah.
so something changed for you
Well, that
all,
was
and
it, and
yeah.
we just didn't feel comfortable with the real estate company, and
Mm,
there's several things happened, but I won't go into that. But anyway,
sure.
that so
Yeah.
we said, well, we'll wait, and like you said, we'll know.
Yes.
We'll know.
You will.
And
You will.
where we are
Well,
now. But
definitely. Okay, so is there like a ballpark figure that you guys have in your mind so I can let my partner Tyler know, hey, this is what they're
yeah,
looking to get, for the property?
well, we would like at least 350.
Okay.
We were offered 345 when it first started, and we said no back then, but it was when our house was worth 389.
Oh yeah.
389.9,
Right.
and then now 6 months later it's gone down. But
I know.
but
I know.
that's
Yeah.
about where we
That's
have
the
to be in
market for
order
you.
to
Right.
in order to move. So then we'll have at
Okay.
least enough in equity to move. There's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you could come in and do upgrades on everything, but as
Sure.
far as the main things like the roof.
That is the 7 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, with the final calls of the night, this is where it all happens. So I'm gonna need you guys to go in here and vote. I got the names in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put this poll live, and you guys decide who takes it. And we are live in 3, 2, 1.
He said Rick too sick.
That's it.
What does that say?
Marcella, do you get the reference? I tried to. Does anybody get the reference from Marcella? Hopefully people get the reference.
I'm not sure if I do, but I read it.
Oh my gosh.
Make
I mean, it is a Van Halen song, so I don't know.
Oh, never mind.
It's fine.
That's the best.
So I thought we were bonding on the whole 80s music thing. We were not on the same. It's totally fine. It's my fault. It's my fault, Marcella. I apologize.
Hey, DQ, I got to drop off here in 5 minutes.
Okay, if you want to give some quick feedback before we wrap up, man, feel free.
Yeah. Hey, so oh gosh, what was the first guy? Rick. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, so we're going after this agent. We're talking to him. Like, rapport building is great. The thing that I feel like can be improved on is you're talking with him, but I don't yet feel like there's a goal in mind on where we're going here. Like, he's got these other, we'll send in an offer when we get ready. I think the other thing to start adding is, okay, well, what has stopped other buyers from just buying this outright? Okay, we got this other guy, like, that's cool. What has stopped other buyers from just showing up and doing the thing? And then Marcella, going to you, like, great empathy. Like, I used, when I was, pursuing a lot of probates, like, there was a while I was batting 1,000 with widows because they take a lot of patience and concern and empathy. And you're doing that in spades here. But she is also going to be a bit of a tough customer. She kind of comes like, I'm not going to be yanked around. And, your response is great. It's like, nor should you. Like, of course you shouldn't. Kind of the same thing. It's, we want to have patience with them. At some point, you're probably going to have to push that lead along and say, okay, you want to make this move. What needs to happen in order for you to feel comfortable moving forward? And I think that's where a lot of closers, like, who are getting started, like, we feel uncomfortable pushing this along because we feel like we're being rude. And so I just want to encourage you both, like, you're doing great in the rapport department. Now it's like, let's take this one next step, kind of assume control, take command of it, and say, let's take the next step together. What would it take for us to make a deal? Even if we did, when is that next place coming? What is X, Y, and Z? So, but anyway, good job to you both. That's a tough one.
Thank you, Jeff.
All
Thanks,
right,
Jeff.
Good stuff, guys. We will share these results, and it looked like Rick took it. The people went Rick's direction. Rick, how do you feel about that, man?
And that's awesome. I am very surprised. I mean, I really try to put, my credibility out there, or at least, try not to fake it, make it seem like it was fake. So, I'm happy about that. And I really enjoy the feedback as well. So.
What, Marcella, what are your thoughts? Talk to us. How you feeling?
Well, that was a really hard call for me because of the new script. I usually can flow through a conversation much easier without a piece of paper in my hand. So that was my.
The are making you use a script?
Yes.
Okay. I'll message them and text them and make fun of them directly, privately. I won't do it publicly. I won't publicly say bad things about them here like I'm currently doing. I'll stop doing that, but I'll make fun of them privately just so everybody knows. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah. So thank you. Anyway, no. So that was, and she made it, she just like didn't take a breath. So I found it hard to try to interrupt her at some point and try to follow more of getting more questions asked, because she just kept going from like one thing to the next. That's what made it so hard for me on that call. But great job, Rick. Congrats. And yeah, I'll get better, fail forward for sure.
I love that. I don't know that I would call what you did today, but I do have a very, very important question. Rick, was this a direct to seller or a direct to agent call?
It was a direct to agent call.
Okay. You know the rules of this competition,
Marcella,
direct to seller, right?
Hey, Marcella, she did a great job. You did a great job too. I think, talking to, situations where it's so sad and you have to kind of bring back that, bring that spirit back up and give, make that seller feel like needed and wanted. I think that was a great call.
Rick, you know that the rules
sure
of the can Rick not hear me? Rick can't hear me. Rick, can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you.
Okay. You know the rules of the compensation are direct to seller, not direct to agent, right? Blank stare. Immediate blank stare. It's okay.
But they were related. They were related.
It was the seller that also was the owner of the house?
Yeah, they ended up being like, they know each other. They were like the same people. That's why it was like, talking for Jeff, his, friend. So they were, anyway, yeah. That's my story.
I'll stick to that. We'll circle back to that here in a second. But before we do, Samir, Brandon, you got anything to say before we wrap up this evening's festivities?
I'm going to keep my feedback super quick because I did get, again, a call right in the middle of Rick's conversation. Rick, it's similar. The difference I saw in the conversation, at least from what I could hear, was the difference between like intentionality and like moving a convo forward. And then on the other end with Marcella, I saw a lot of really good things when it came to empathy and tonality and stuff like that. Overall, Rick, great job just pushing the convo forward and getting the progress you needed. Oftentimes that firm tone can actually even play into that, right? You can just really take the convo where you need to go. Marcella, I think you do a really good job connecting with the seller. I mean, even like the first thing we heard, like the way you just empathize with her, like I'm so sorry to hear about being sick. I know you mentioned the script. I feel similar to Daniel on the idea of the script. I think you do a great job. You have a natural way about yourself speaking. I think you should lean into it, but of course, you have the advice of your team.
Don't cause corporate right? Like you don't want to.
I'm not giving conflicting advice. I'm just saying, if it were me, I would let your talents shine. But yeah, in general, I loved your tonality. I think you sound really good when you talk on the phone and you can connect. But either way, you guys both did great. Marcella, you're gonna get him next time.
Thank you so much, Samir.
Brandon?
No, I don't have much. Good job, guys. Congratulations, Rick.
Shout out to Brandon for basically adding no value to this evening in the feedback department.
I gave feedback here and there, I gave feedback here and there.
If you guys don't know, I'm messing with Brandon because Brandon still has not submitted his call. Brandon is over-delivered in the value department on this Zoom, so for any of the new people. So I give myself room to mess with him. But he's also ducking, flaking, hiding, avoiding. What's the appropriate descriptive term for what you're doing?
Just taking my time.
Okay.
I'm just taking my time.
Okay, but you assume that the
Got
time
another week.
Do we though? Tomorrow's the
Do
week.
we not?
We may not. This may be it Friday.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'm just saying. But no.
I do got something to say though.
Say it.
I want to use something that I haven't used. So I want to use this Golden Glove on Imran.
Let's go.
I think Imran deserved to as well as Thomas. So no shade at you, Thomas. As well as Thomas deserves to move forward. I think Imran did a good job, and it was the luck of the draw and where he was at on the call. But I saw where you were going, and Imran, are you there?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Look at Imran making it to round two. Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, since you're
Thank
out
you,
here
thank
being
you.
generous, I need to circle back to the Rick Daniels situation. You know, Marcella had a great call, but Marcella was in an unfair competition because she was direct to seller. Rick was direct to agent. So I'm going to use my glove tonight as well. And Marcella is going to be passing and going forward to round 2 along with Rick. So we got 2 golden gloves tonight that are going to be going forward. I'm excited.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
So,
Go, congrats.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Here's what I'm going to say, guys. For those of you who are going to round 2 is going to be different. We're going to get more into this later, and we got to figure out how this is going to go in January. I'll figure out the details. We'll stay in contact with you guys. But, guys, round 2 is not going to be a game. Round 2 is going to be difficult. It's going to be tedious, and you will be challenged in ways you have not been challenged before. So get ready. Get the reps in. Start practicing because you got to represent yourselves, represent the team and the community well. Only the top 8 make it to Arizona. So it's going to be a really, really fun time. But, guys, thank you for everybody who hung out here. We had quite a few people here the entire night. Really, really excited that you guys were able to come and hang out. We should be here on Friday for one last go this week. And all of the people who are interested in competing. If you have not had the chance and you want to, shoot me a message or on Facebook. We'll get you in the chat. Guys, go do something special. I hope you made a friend.
I have a question real quick.
Yep. What happened?
Got a question real quick.
Hit it.
Sorry, I'm in the car still. So when we do the role playing, so that because I haven't done role playing, I'm gonna try and find somebody to role play with. Are we going to know, or are we going to have to find out what kind of, like in the daily dial, they ask you, what are you calling? Are you calling pre-foreclosures? Are you calling, expired? Are we going to know what we're going to role play?
I don't know. My goal is not to make this easy for you. And if you need that much information to go into the conversation, then you're focused on the wrong thing. The right thing is the skill set and the ability to overcome whatever gets thrown at you. That's going to be the focus of the competition.
Okay. Thank you.
No. Thank you. And thank everybody else who's going. Brandon, Samir, you guys got it? What you got, man?
Yeah, I have a question. So I really want to get more reps in, and I do want to get more feedback as I do more calls. And I'm still new to the sub 2. What other calls I can go and present my call? I know you guys have only it's a competition, but is there another place I could go and get critiqued on my calls?
Yeah, so on Saturdays, Alejandro Alvarez has call calibrations, I believe, that you can look at. There's different teams that are doing that you could probably connect with and have them do that as well. And then Brandon has a 24/7 Zoom. So this is exactly where it's good to connect with people here in the Zoom because there's a number of people who are doing it. So you guys don't like Jasper. A lot of you guys may know who Jasper is. Jasper took Pace's advice from last week. He opened up his Twitch channel. And he has been streaming on Twitch. I'm going to share his channel. If you guys want to go follow Jasper. But Jasper was on today. I try to jump in, even if it's just in the background, really just to support what he's doing with his stream. But he had a couple of calls, and I jumped in and I did a couple call calibrations with him today. So just connect with people, man. There's all kinds of stuff out there that should be able to help you kind of do that. But guys, whatever you're doing, find somewhere to practice for round 2. You do not want to go into round 2 trying to wing it. Promise. Does that help, Imran?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I'm taking notes on those, and then I'll follow those.
Love that. Brandon, Samir, anybody else got anything before we wrap up this evening, guys?
If I don't see you, an amazing Christmas and happy holidays, everybody. If I don't see you,
and to everyone looking to compete, to Daniel's point, we don't know how many sessions we got left, and if you're about it, be about it, Brendan.
Be about it. We'll be here Friday.
That's my guy.
Brandon's already checked out for the holidays, you see. Brandon's trying to officially just... Why don't you just say you're not competing, bro? Just say that.
I'm not doing it. I just be... I had a few calls I just didn't record, and I'd be mad at myself. I need to just lock in, bro.
Just put it on your calendar, bro. You got a big hashtag calendar. Like, put it on the calendar.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. I'm gonna get it.
Guys,
I will get
appreciate you. Everybody here, everybody on YouTube, appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Appreciate you guys coming and supporting the people who are putting themselves out of their comfort zones tonight. I promise you this is not easy for them. I challenge you to do the same thing in your life and in your business. We'll be here again on Friday at 3 p.m. Arizona time. Until then, go do something cool, make a friend, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good one, y'all.